Frugal Crafter. Today we're going to make a really fun card using limited supplies. And what you're going to need is a pale green card base, or whatever color you like. I've got a pale yellow matte cut just a little bit smaller. So this is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card. It's just one of the pre-folded ones you can pick up at a craft store. I have a panel that's about 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to be layered like that. And then I have two pieces of about the same size as that panel. Doesn't really matter, you could use a bigger piece, but I happen to have these old note cards, so I thought I would use them up. But these are just kind of like a pale pink color. Doesn't really matter what colors you pick, just make sure they kind of all look nice together. We're going to need 3 colors of ink, and 3 stamps. So these are from the Sunny Daisy set from Rubber Stamp Tapestry. They're our sponsor today. Make sure to check out the coupon code for a coupon to save 20% on your order. Lindsay17 is the coupon code, but I'll put all that info in the video description along with links to the products that I used. And I've got this, so these are a little bit bigger than the peg stamps that we usually use. It might be a little bit smaller, kind of like those ones. And so these are kind of like jumbo peg stamps, and they're really, really fun to use. They cover a lot more ground in a lot less time. So we've got this big daisy, we've got this leaf, and we're using 3 different colors of inks. So we're going to have a lot of elegance to this project because we're going to repeat different techniques. So the first thing we're going to do, and I'm just working on a pad of paper because my stamping table upstairs is a little bumpy, and people were accusing me of doing stamp CPR last week. So I thought I would give a little cushy pad here. An old magazine works great. This is just a little easier for you guys to see. And what I'm going to do is just stamp. I could probably get a couple, I think I'm going to re-ink each time. And I'm just going to make an overall background. If you had a big background stamp and you would rather just make your background that way, you can, because this will take a few minutes. But this is a great way to make your own background paper. So what I'm going to need for this project is double-sided paper. And even though this is has a color on both sides, it's the same color. And for this Dahlia folding technique I'm going to teach you today, it's really pretty if you have 2 different, if you have a slightly contrasting back and front. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So finish filling your card up with stamping, and this might be enough to make my Dahlia, but I just have another piece of paper just in case I need to make another sheet of it. Don't worry if anything comes out not perfectly stamped, it's really not going to matter. And another tip is anytime you are stamping, doing tone on tone is instant elegance. So if you're ever concerned about what to use, what color to stamp with, just choose a darker color of what you're stamping on. That'll give you an instant elegance. And I'm just using this color duster to add a little bit of a darker shade. So this side of the paper is going to be a little bit darker than the back side. I'm actually working in a new art journal, and I figure I always have some really cool looking backgrounds after I've done a project, hence what my table usually looks like. So it's kind of a waste. Why not, be able to turn it to an art journal page? So this gives you a very subtle color. If you want a more intense color, use a sponge. I do believe Rubber Stamp Tapestry has ink brushes back in stock, so you can go check that out. So just to show you the difference, this is the color we had and this is the color we have now. So this is what the other side looks like. So now what you need to do is punch a bunch of circles, and I am using a 1-inch circle punch for this. And I like these Fiskars ones with the levers just because I find them a little easier to punch through, but you can use whatever you have. And I usually punch upside down so I can kind of see where I'm punching. I actually am not crazy about the little door on the bottom of these because I find that that's kind of an extra cumbersome thing. Because then I have to open the door and dump them out. But that's not a big deal. I could probably pop that door off if I wanted to, but I was kind of afraid to do that. I don't want to ruin it. There, I thought we can get enough from 1 piece of paper. So then when you get here and you have that spot in the middle, what I do is I just grab some scissors and I cut off one side, and I can get 2 more punches here in the middle. I bet this is going to be enough for our project, actually. There we go. Okay, another thing we're going to do with a punch is actually stamp our daisy here. I've already done it, but I'll just do it again so you can see. Make sure you get it inked up really good. This is going to be the center of our dahlia flower. It's not really going to be, it's a dahlia fold, but beautifully stamped there. And this is why I really like I really like to hold the punch upside down, because I can get it perfectly centered. It's so much easier to do this than it is to try and stamp on a little circle. So if you want, you can brush some color on there. I'll grab my yellow brush and just show you. I keep them right in a drawer right behind my desk, and I can add a little bit of color to that. So it just doesn't look like white cardstock, so it looks tone on tone, because remember about tone on tone, what did I tell you? It looks elegant. Alright, I'm going to zoom in a little bit to show you this fold, because it is, you may not be used to it, and I just want to make sure you can see it really well. Okay, so you kind of have to decide whether you want your, you want the lighter paper on the outside or the inside. I think that I will have the lighter paper on the outside, so you want to have the pattern facing up, and then you're just going to fold in your sides. I think that's a little too much. Oh no, kind of like that. Let me see if I can fold it so I'm not folding quite so much in. Fold a little bit less. Oops, that's the wrong side. Well, I'll do on this side just so you can see. That's kind of more what you just kind of want them to meet in the middle, not really overlap, but meet in the middle like that. So this one I folded. If you folded it too much, you can go back and refold if the cardstock's not too thick. You could also just use double-sided paper if you didn't want to. Bother with doing the stamping, but that's what we're going for there. Okay. So you can see the difference. I like the stamping on the inside because I can see more of it, so that's why I'm going to do that. So you want to go ahead and do that to all of your little flowers here, and hopefully you'll have enough to make a complete circle once we fold them all together. You're just gently folding in your two sides as evenly as you can. Don't worry if you have to go and smoosh one in a little bit more. If you want to, you can use a bone folder or the back of your fingernail to flatten that down. But it's not a big deal because you do want some dimension there. Just go around and do that to every one of your circles. Okay, so it only took 6 actually of those, so I had plenty. And I'm going to take one of these leftover circles and apply some adhesive so I can stick those down there, just so I have something to anchor them to while I make my card, and then I will stick it down much more permanently once I have that all together. So I just got to stick these around here. Don't press them down too hard in case you need to adjust them. So just kind of tack them down and then press them once you've got them in place exactly where you want them. You might have to, if you notice things aren't fitting very well, you can go in and adjust. That one looks a little crooked. I just want to, there we go, like adjust a fold a little bit if it's not perfect. That's not a big deal. So there's our little flower. I think it's really cute. And this is going to go in the center. And I think I'll probably use a foam dot for that. Now for our layer that we're going to be building on, I want to have that, I want to just kind of make a little, I want to make some marks just so I have an idea of how big this is. So I can do some stamping with my leaf, because I'm going to stamp that right on that because it's a yellow layer. So I know that yellow is going to, green will look great on top of yellow, I guess is what I'm getting at. You know what I mean? Because yellow is an ingredient in the color green, so it will make it look nice and bright. And I'm turning my stamp as I go and making sure that my leaves are coming out from the middle. Now what I can do is I can see what this looks like. like that, and I can leave it like that, or I can fill it in more and almost get like a kaleidoscope pattern or a mandala pattern, which is really popular right now. So I think, why not? Cards are fun. Cards are meant, you know, we're meant to be creative, I think. Now, another idea that it honestly just popped into my head right now. I was going to use a piece of washi tape for a stem, or a ribbon, but then I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I found a sentiment that I could stamp right there sideways and use it as my sentiment. So I'm going to look and see what I have up here and see if I have a sentiment that could be used as a stem. I found this cursive sentiment that said thanks, and it'll just fit just like that. Now if I had this bright idea before I began, I would have made my flower a little bit higher up on the paper, but that's all right, you know. Just next time, if I decide to repeat this idea, or when you do it, just make it up a little bit higher on your paper. The nice thing about a clear stamp like this is that I can really see where it's going and make sure it's going to fit. Oh, I like that. So you could use like a blocky letter one, but I thought that because it's a flower, having a cursive word looks a little bit more organic and would go with this a little bit better. So, I'm really pleased with that. And then I'm going to adhere that on top, just like that. I'm going to put some double-sided adhesive. This ATG stuff is pretty strong, so I'm not concerned that it's going to fall apart. I would not use a glue stick for this. Even one of your better glue sticks, I still would be a little cautious because they do tend to come apart en route. And I want a little foam tape for that. Still using the puzzle foam tape squares. I don't think I'm ever going to run out of those. I have so many. I feel like the most economical way to buy foam tape is get one of those 3D puzzles. Oh, I think that's sweet. So I'm really liking this. The only thing I'm thinking I might want is maybe a little bit more pattern in the background. And I think that this is such a lovely, lacy little design that I think I could do a nice border with this without it being too crazy, as long as I stay tone on tone. And I think that color, that kind of peanut butter yellow that I used for the center would be really nice for that. So I'm just going to quickly clean off my stamp with a little water on a paper towel. I'm going to get that pink off of there. Yeah, make sure it's clean. And I am going to go ahead and I'm going to pay attention to the way my stamp is, and I am going to stamp like that. I'm going to go 1, 2. So it's almost like I'm using two colors of ink, but it's the same. 1, 2, all the way around. 1, 2, and just slightly twisting a little bit so that it doesn't look very samey. Repetition is really good in art, but you don't want everything to be lined up like little soldiers. Okay, you do want a little bit of kind of surprise there. Kind of missed my mark there. I think that's really a nice effect. You don't have to do that though. If you want to keep it a little cleaner and simpler, go for it. Your card, your rules, no right or wrong. You know what? If I got this in the mail and it didn't have a border stamped on it, I would still be just as grateful. People don't give handmade cards or cards at all much anymore. So whatever you do to express how you care about somebody is good. And I just want to be very, there, just wanted a little bit something there. Oh, I like that. Another thing I think I'll do, let me first ink with the brush. I just have much better results with the brush than I do going direct to paper or using a sponge, so I'm just going to do that. That's really all I think I need. I like that little bit of a glow that it gives it. And because we did tone on tone stamping and we repeated the stamps and the colors, we have this really really lovely matching, elegant looking card. Now let's see, make sure I put this on the right way. Oh, I like that. It's simple, but I think it's really effective and really pretty. and you don't have to have a ton of supplies. You don't have to make a big mess to make this card. Like a lot of my cards, it seems like you have to make a big mess, doesn't it? You don't have to with this. And this is something that you could like punch out a bunch of circles. You could use up your scraps. All of these papers actually came from my scrap bin. You can use up your scraps. You can make a bunch of these. Especially if you had a stamp set that had a lot of different cursive letters that you wanted to use. It's a wonderful way to make a clean and simple card that's elegant and a lot of fun. I think one last thing this card needs is a matching envelope. So I'm just going to grab just a white note card envelope. That's why I kind of like these cards from Michaels, just the plain ones, because they come with all these envelopes. And I think I'm just going to do a little motif on the flap. I'll start off with my biggest, because remember the rule for stamping, we do our biggest, and then we do our next biggest. Now the thing, notice that the edge of this stamp is kind of, it's not really solid. That is so you can sneak that right in. So it doesn't look like it is this hard edge that's hard to integrate. It's meant to sneak right in there. I'm going to do two right next to each other. I'm going to clean off my little stamp here because remember I just used it with yellow. I'm going to go back to that pink because that pink is really pretty. And I'm just going to pop that right over there. That's pretty. Look at that. Who wouldn't love to get that in the mail? I think that is just a lovely design and so fun and easy to make, and you don't have to break the bank on supplies, and you don't have to turn your craft room inside out and make a huge mess to make it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like any of the supplies that I'm using, please check out the links in the video description. Check out our sponsor Rubbish Stamp Tapestry at pegstamps.com and save 20% on your order using the coupon code Lindsay17. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy crafting!